Hello everyone, it's Shel from Paper Actio Studio, and today I'm sharing with you the next installment of the Canvas Corp Brands Creative Crew Traveling Art Journal project. This journal came to me for July and I made my page in it. This page is all about collage. There's no painting or drawing at all. It's all using different papers and things to make collage. So I have a new stash here. This is all different products from the Architextures line from Canvas Corp Brands, which is under 7Gypsies. This was a new line of products that came out this last, whenever it was, a few months ago at the CHA. And it's a very unique look and design aesthetic that has to do with old, elegant things from the past. And I'm starting out opening that package that has a bunch of different little miniatures of like old paintings, and I picked this one as my focal image, it was probably an oil painting of a peacock at some point. It's a little bit aged looking, like it's been around a long time, and I'm basing my whole collage and design of the page around that central image. So I have a pack of 8x8 size papers that come from the Architectures line as well. And I'm picking out different ones that I think texturally and also in color go with what I'm looking for. So I've got some that looks like old aged grayish bluish wood. I have this little frame that I cut out from one of the papers that is kind of a greenish, soft green color. Some of these old doors and shutters, some old wallpaper, all things that I think go with the feeling of it's an old farmhouse, and it was so elegant and beautiful in its day, and now it's kind of worn looking. Has this oil painting of this beautiful peacock and maybe some old wallpaper. Very elegant, but worn down at this point. And that's kind of the feel of the whole line, really, of Architectures from 7Gypsies. So I didn't want to use the little doggy that was in the frame. It's cute. I'll use it some other time. But I wanted to use that frame around my central peacock painting. So I trimmed it out and I'm going to use it that way. Then I cut some of the other papers into strips, and also I've cut out a few of these doors or shutters or whatever they are. Either doors or shutters, I'm not sure, but they're cool and old looking, and I thought that they went with the idea in my head of this elegant and stately farmhouse that, you know, is 100+ years old with all these beautiful furnishings and antiques inside. So that's the story I'm telling myself. I'm telling it to you too. So, like I said, the whole page was driven by the peacock painting, and I'm sticking with colors that go with that and images that go with my story inside my head, and that's the way that I'm building up the page. I'm using some of this deli paper that has been gelatin printed with a 6x6 gel plate and Tattered Angels products. One of them has the glimmer glaze on it, and the other two have, or three, or however many I have there, have the baseboard mists. And if you missed the video where I made these, I will put it in the iCard up above in the upper right corner. You can click on that and you'll be able to find the video where I made these prints using the mists and the glazes. So another thing that I'm doing to make my collage more interesting is I'm combining very even and straight edges with torn edges, and I think that adds a lot of visual interest. Make sure I look around the composition more and interest your brain a little bit more if you've got a combination of different textures of the edges of the pieces of paper. Another important step that I'm taking is, and this is important and you guys should do it, is going around every single piece of paper that I'm gluing on there and putting ink on the edge to cover and blend the white core of the paper. You also could do this with a marker if you want a cleaner look, but in this case I'm already going for kind of aged and worn, so I'm using that watering can archival ink. I'm using the archival ink because I know that I'm going to be gluing this down with wet glue, and I don't want my ink to run, so I'm using a permanent ink and an artist sponge and just going around all the little pieces and covering up that white core of the paper. It's distracting and unattractive and just makes it look like you stuck a bunch of stuff to a page rather than creating a composition. And then I'm using my deli paper prints and tearing them and adding them in different places to highlight certain things and also add that rougher edge and another color. And I'm putting them in more than one place because that's kind of a rule of composition. If you add a color, you need to put it in more than one spot. Unless your idea is that this color is like my spot and it's what's going to stand out and I want everyone to look at it, then you just put it in one place. But if it's just coming into your composition, you need to add it in more than one place. So I'm continuing to just kind of lay everything out, build it up, make decisions. And I wish that I could give you guys more tips on how I do this so that you could do it if you wanted to. But here's what it comes down to. It's how you like it. This collage is how I like it. And there isn't any overthought, overplanned process other than just the general rules of composition are, you know, stay with odd numbers. There's the rule of threes or thirds. Adding colors in more than one place, making sure things are balanced, you know, that type of stuff is just your general things that you learn. But ultimately, this piece is made because it's how I like it. And that's the creative process that I'm using. It's not magic. It's not science. It's just how I like it. And you could do that too, how you like it. Like, why did I decide that I wanted to turn that paper over? It's because that's how I like it. You get what I'm saying? It's not magic. It's just how you like it. So I like collage. I enjoy doing this, and this is how I like it. So I make decisions. I mean, I laid everything out. You saw me lay everything out, and then I change my mind and make decisions as I'm gluing the paper down. I don't know why. Is it because I can't remember what it looked like originally? No, it's just because I decided I liked it a different way. So a couple of these are old wallpaper. There's the old worn wood color, kind of a blue. The colors, again, were all driven by the painting, blues, soft greens, tealish, soft teal colors, and then, of course, the warm browns that are to give the idea of it being aged, worn. Not necessarily dirty, but just worn. And then that little piece that I'm gluing on right now, I put that on there because it makes me laugh. It says, mixed media, just add glue. How perfect. How perfect is that for this page? It's perfect. It looks like an old wooden worn sign. I don't know where there would not be. I mean, they must have made that up and then aged it or something, because I'm sure there's not an old worn sign out there that says mixed media, just add glue. But it sure looks like it. It really does. So it made me laugh when I saw it. It is on this page of all other really cool antique signs and street signs and store signs and all kinds of interesting stuff on this page, and then there's just one that says mixed media, just add glue. Just, I don't know. Maybe I'm too easily amused. So once all my papers are down, I'm adding in little torn pieces of my gel prints. Um, it adds visual texture, adds in the colors where I want them. Maybe there's just something that's needed in a spot. And so that's how I'm using my gel prints on this page. I think they enhance the overall look of everything, making it more handmade looking and I don't know, more artistic than putting a bunch of printed papers on, you know. These are actually handmade by me. I didn't add any painting or drawing on this. It's completely collage, so that gives it more of my style and vision to add these little pieces where I think that they're needed. Spreading around the colors, adding more texture. How you do, you know? So if you guys are enjoying this video, remember to give it a thumbs up, leave me a comment so I know that you were here. Subscribe if you haven't already. There's a little subscribe button down in the right hand corner of the screen. It's purple. And of course, share if you think it's really great. Pin it to Pinterest on one of your boards or share it in a Facebook group or something, whatever you want to do. So once all my collage is done, I'm taking off the tape. That reveals that I did actually leave white edges. You know, sometimes that doesn't happen. And now I'm looking through all my my new. This is the main focus of the Architectures line, is these very unique, dimensional. You can feel them. They're textured stickers. They stick on. They're self-adhesive, so I guess that makes them a sticker. But they're so much more than a sticker. I can't even describe how cool they are. This particular set that I decided to use looks like old tin tiles, and I wish that I would have made it into a pendant and earrings because they're so interesting. I think that would make a great pendant and earrings. You know, the big one and then the two tiny ones. But too late, I already used them up. So if I want to do that, I need to get some more. So I attached those. I hope that you'll be able to see how interesting and cool they are when you see the close-ups. It's so hard to show something like that in a video or a photograph. It's just something you kind of have to feel. You have to feel them, but they're really cool. So I'm adding in more highlights and shadows. I'm using Pitt Artist Pens, which are an India ink pen, and kind of I want the painting in the middle to be the focal image. I'm afraid that that larger tin tile might be taking away from it a little bit. So I'm adding in shadows around the edges, highlights around the edges using a white Posca pen, all through the page. And this allows everything again to be more blended. It's a continuation of the process of adding ink to everything on the edges. It's like helps it not look as if you just grabbed a handful of random stuff and stuck it on there. It's creating cohesiveness and just, I don't know, adding to the vision of the page. That's all I can say about it. It's morning, people. Maybe I'm not as eloquent as I think I am. I don't know. It's just morning. So you can see me tapping, tap, tap, tap. That's what I'm thinking about. Does it need anything else? Am I done? Am I not done? And then I tap on the desk and then I think, I'm not quite done. Add some more white on there. So whenever you see me doing that in a video, that's what I'm doing. I'm thinking, and I'm thinking a lot longer than it looks like because this video, of course, is sped up to 4 times fast. Total project took me an hour, 40 minutes. So to condense it down into, 17 minutes or something. So then, of course, I can't do a lot of art journal pages without splatters. So I went and got my box to add some splatters. And there was a color in there called peacock feathers. And I said to myself, that is perfect. I'm going to add peacock feathers. So I did, just using the straw inside the thing. And I think it's done. That's it for me. Thanks. Bye bye.